Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video will be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, coming to you with another unboxing and review of, yes, another Zelos. And yes, I do own this one because I have Zelos sickness. This will be the second watch that I bought in this series. Another Starfighter. This Starfighter was the Starfighter I was originally going to purchase until the Aventurine came out. And you might remember that Aventurine was sent to me as a production sample, quote unquote. It was serial number 1, and it was the one used by Elshin for principal photography for the Aventurine line of the Starfighter, and it was a full production watch, and I basically, I don't think I had to talk him into it too much, but I do now own that watch. So that watch is now mine. But I also really liked the pictures and everything I saw of the Midnight Blue one. So I went ahead and bought one, as you can see. So now I have 2 of the 5 Starfighters. And this one is number 14. That's out of 75. There will be, according to Elshin, there will be 75 Aventurines, 75 blue, and 75 of the Spitfires. The Meteorites and the Frost, there'll be 100. I believe that's the right number. Anyway, number 14 is mine. And I'm very happy to add this to my Zelos collection. I'm going to start the chronograph here so you can watch that. Nothing terribly different about this compared to the other Starfighters. You have a full chronograph. The chronograph seconds are the big second hander with the red tip. You have a chronograph minute dial here. And your constant seconds, or your running second hand, is at the 3 o'clock position. Pardon me. You have a date window at the 6 o'clock, which I believe is correct. Yes, it is. Lovely watch, as usual. You have the exhibition case back with a custom rotor over a fairly standard ETA movement. We'll get to that in a minute. You can see the serial number right there, number 14 of 75. So there are not going to be a lot of Starfighters floating around out there, which I guess will make my job of trying to collect more of them a little difficult, but we're not going to worry about that now. I have other reasons to spend money other than Starfighters. Beautiful watch. Still the controversy about the bracelet. I really don't understand the controversy. It's if you don't like it, it's fairly easy to change. It has quick release spring bars, as you can see. The bracelet integrates nicely into the case. You do have that slight extension here because it's a male bracelet end. The bracelet itself is very supple. Again, reminds me of a Moser, H. Moser and C Streamliner. The way it looks and the way it feels and the way it moves. If you don't know what that is, you can easily look that up. Just look up H. Moser and C. C is spelled C-I-E. Streamliner, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You have your single deploy clasp, fold over clasp, fully milled. You have the quick release, the spring loaded quick release. Not quick release, sorry. Micro adjust, where you pull this end in to, you can push it in without any problem, and you pull and you extend it by pulling this end in and pulling that out. I had it right there, didn't I? Oh, I still have the plastic on that. I'll have to get that later. Going for a wrist shot, the watch, as my other one did and does, wears beautifully on my 7¼ inch wrist. You can see the down the barrel shot. It is very short lug, very short overhang, and plenty of room. This watch could be worn very easily by someone with a much smaller wrist than mine. I'd say probably down to easily 6½ inch, maybe 6¼ inch. And just fits beautifully on my wrist. The overhead shot and blue is my favorite color, so I'm very happy to add this watch into my collection. As I said, this was going to be the one I originally purchased until I got a hold of that Aventurine, and I decided to pick that one up first. You have a sunburst light pattern and a beautiful guilloche on the dial. The subdials, as you can see, are slightly recessed into the dial. They are loomed subdials in this watch. Full loom on all the indices, and the subdials are loomed as well. And you can see the minute dial is working nicely. To stop it, of course, you just press the upper button and it stops, and it starts very easily without jumping the hand. And to reset, it's a flyback, so you reset by pushing the lower button, and everything snaps back into place. Lines up just fine. You have a non-screw down crown. This is not a heavy water resistant watch, as most pilots' watches and chronographs are not. First position, as you can see, will set the date. Second position hacks the movement, and then you can set the time. Push it all back in. Works beautifully. You have a signed crown, non-signed piston style pushers, screw down exhibition case back, as we've already looked. I have my sheet of facts here, actually 2 sheets, because I switched to a different notepad and I don't have as much room to write anymore. And my handwriting is atrocious. This is the Zelos Midnight Blue Starfighter, number 14 of 75, with the blue fume dial. You can see it does a fume effect. There's also a guilloche dial. Blue ceramic bezel with a tachymeter scale on it. Loom subdials, as I said. 316L stainless steel case, 316L stainless steel bracelet. The bracelet starts at 22 millimeter and tapers down to 18 millimeter. If you hear that noise in the background, that's my heater. Even though I do live in Florida, it does get cold. Today is a somewhat cold day. I mean, in comparison, I realize, half the country right now is below freezing. Florida is not, but still, we Floridians have heaters. 41 millimeter case with a 48 millimeter lug to lug, 22 millimeter lug width, and 13 millimeter thick to a boxed sapphire crystal. 50 meter water resistance. Now, all those statistics except for the thickness measurement were taken from the Zelos website. Zelos measures this thing without crystal for some perverse reason and measured it at 11 millimeter. I prefer to give you the full thickness, which is 13 millimeter according to my calipers. Inside, powering this beautiful piece of machinery, is an ETA 2894 Elaborate. It's an automatic movement, hand winds, hacks, custom rotor. Other than that, you can see that the movement is not decorated. Pretty much the way it comes out of the little case. I mean, I appreciate a well-decorated movement, but, you know, quite frankly, the only place that's going to see the movement is right here. And last time I checked, most people's wrists don't have eyeballs, so it doesn't bother me. And as I said, a boxed sapphire crystal. And I am in love with this. I think the Starfighter watch is a fantastic lineup. Obviously, not going to have as many of these as you're going to have of the ZX, which was this thing's older brother. Mostly because Elshin is not doing both an automatic version of this watch and a mecha quartz movement of this watch, so you don't have two lineups of each colorway. But very nice watches. I did forget in a previous video, I was remiss in forgetting to mention that there was another chronograph line that Elshin did. It didn't get a lot of publicity. I have one, as you might remember. It's a hammerhead chronograph. It is even thicker than the original hammerheads. I believe it's also a Generation 2 chronograph. It works very well, but I didn't mention it in my comparison between the ZX and the Starfighter. Well, mostly because it's not really a comparison. I mean, you're comparing a deep dive watch to a pilot's watch. It's really not a fair comparison. But I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that there are 3 chronograph lines in the Zelos lineup. The Hammerhead Gen 2 chronograph, the ZX lineup, and now the Starfighter. So, definitely a recommend. As I make this video in mid-January 2022, these watches are still available. Both the blue and the frost colorways are still available. The other 3 are sold out. So if you like what you see, you might want to go pick one up. I think they're a pretty good bargain. So with that said, I'm going to wrap the video with my usual spiel. If you liked the video, you found it entertaining, informative, useful, please click that thumbs up for me. The thumbs up does help with the channel with respect to attracting new people to the channel. So always a thumbs up is appreciated. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to troll me or you're going to leave links to bad places on the internet, I'm just going to delete the comment and I'm going to block the commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, I bid you welcome. Glad you found the channel. I hope you'll take advantage of watching all the great videos that I have on the channel. All I ask in return, and I ask very little, is click the subscribe button. Trying to get to 3,000 subs. Maybe by the time you're watching this, I have it, but I probably don't at the moment. But I'd like to get there. And if you click the subscribe button, you can help me do that. And don't forget, when you click the subscribe button, to click the bell icon as well. That alerts you to when I upload new material to the channel or when I do live streams, which I try to do every Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. And if I can do it at other times during the week, I will, and you will be alerted when those streams start if you click the bell icon. Meanwhile, it is a crazy old world out there. I hope that everyone who watches this will be careful, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.